Jadov is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 6 episode review video. But before I get into that, it's extremely important if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead for you to do your due diligence and pay attention to that episode title. I'll put that episode title in the description for you. If that's the case and you find yourself not caught up, I suggest, and so does everybody else, that you don't watch this video to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode number 2. Title of this episode is called JSS. This will be my review, reaction, recap of the episode. Keep in mind, it's an episode I've seen a lot of times. Just reviewing this amazing episode to have it reviewed on the channel. And I'm reviewing it due to the fact that they announced that Season 11 of The Walking Dead is going to be the final season of the main Walking Dead show. We start off with a flashback. Enid's parents are killed by walkers while trying to change a fuse in order to start their car. Now locked in a now bloodied, very bloodied car, Enid cries as she watches the walkers devour her parents. She escapes and wanders the woods alone, foraging for food and shelter and hiding from and killing walkers. Now, she repeatedly writes the letters JSS in the dirt using tortoise bones and on a dusty window. And then Enid eventually stumbles upon Alexandria's gates. She initially starts to walk away, but then scrawls JSS on her hand and goes inside Alexandria. And then that ends our flashback of the episode. In the present time, Carol collects ingredients from the pantry. Shelley complains about wanting a pasta maker. Carol offers to teach her how to make handmade pasta if Shelley can drop her cigarette habit. Now, Carol returns home to, where she sees Sam waiting for her and coldly tells him to get over Pete's death. Jesse tries to give Ron a haircut, but when they get into an argument about Rick's role in Pete's death, Ron storms out. Spoiled brat. Meanwhile, Maggie takes Deanna outside the walls to discuss expansion efforts and urges her to get past Regis's death and become Alexandria's leader again. Eugene and Tara head to the infirmary to get aspirin for Tara's headache and meet Denise, Alexandria's new replacement doctor. Now, Denise confides to them that she is a psychiatrist and she has not practiced surgery since medical school. She feels unequipped to fill Pete's role and complains and complains and complains. Now, Carl takes a walk in his neighborhood and sees Ron and Enid sitting together before being asked by Father Gabriel for lessons in self-defense. Though reluctant, Carl tells him to come by to learn how to wield a machete another time. And then as Carol prepares a meal, she looks outside and sees Shelley, the one that wanted her, that was complaining about the pasta stuff, the pasta maker. Shelley was killed by one of the wolves. Numerous wolves scale Alexandria's walls and kill any Alexandrians they come across. Now, Holly is mortally wounded in the attack, and Carl fortifies himself inside his house with Judith. Enid eventually comes by, expressing her intention to abandon Alexandria. Carl, at least at the moment, convinces her to stay. And then in the watchtower, Spencer, kind of a pussy, sees a truck approaching the fence and fires on it, killing the driver, but inadvertently activating the truck's horn. He goes down to shut it off and runs into Morgan. Spencer informs Morgan of the wolf attack, but is too scared to fight. So Morgan just tells him to stay there. He'll take care of things. As panic ensues, Carol quickly arms herself and kills several of the attackers before disguising herself as a wolf. And then Morgan meets up with Carol, and then she actually takes Morgan prisoner as a ruse and realizes that since the wolves have no guns, they should head for the armory in order to prevent the wolves from looting it. And then Maggie breaks off to save Maggie. Morgan actually breaks away from Carol as the, prisoner thing to save Father Gabriel. And Carol continues alone, killing many wolves along the way. And then Carol actually secures the armory and distributes guns to the surviving Alexandrians. She executes a wolf that Morgan had taken prisoner, and Morgan openly disagrees with Carol's belief that the wolves must be killed. And then Morgan, he actually separates from the group again and runs into another group of wolves, led by one of the wolves he had previously encountered in the season 5 finale, Conquer. Not the main wolf, but the other wolf that kind of tried to sneak up from behind. But however, the wolves Morgan convinces the wolves to retreat by pointing out that the Alexandrians have guns, and they, unfortunately, do not. Also in the aftermath of the battle, Rosita and Aaron, they kill several wolves, and upon inspecting one of the corpses, Aaron finds his backpack full of recruiting materials, which he'd left behind at the end of Season 5 when escaping a zombie horde at the food factory, and realizes the wolves found Alexandria because of him. Despite their best efforts, Denise is unable to save Holly, and then Denise tells Tara and Eugene that she wants to be left alone, and Tara reminds her to destroy Holly's brain. Meanwhile, Morgan is ambushed by the other wolf he had previously encountered. The wolf taunts Morgan for not killing him when he had the chance, and Morgan subdues him before knocking him unconscious. Carl finds a farewell note from Enid that reads, "Just survive somehow." And then later, Morgan and Carol come across paths on the street but do not acknowledge one another. And that's how this amazing episode ends. So I remember when I first watched this episode, 10 minutes had gone by, and I was going to post something online of Walking Dead's another snooze fest. I didn't, and I was really tired. I almost fell asleep. And then this episode got crazy. And it was cool because there was no Rick or Daryl there. So I absolutely love this episode. I think everything happened. It was perfect. And a really good episode for Season 6. In fact, one of those unexpected good episodes. So as far as a scored episode, it had its flaws. A little bit of stuff here and there annoyed me, but it was awesome. 9.4 out of 10. The character of this episode, I have to give it to Carol. Maybe Morgan, but Carol certainly deserves it. It was just an amazing episode of The Walking Dead, and definitely one that's in my top 10 still to this day. And so that concludes what I have to say about the episode. Now it's your turn. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like JSS from Season 5, or Season 6 I should say, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know anybody else that would be interested in listening or watching these videos, share this video to them. Let them know that they can share it with whomever they want. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section. And that can be a lot of things. You can put in there what your thoughts are on this episode were, your score of this episode, your favorite Walking Dead moments, your favorite Walking Dead episodes, your favorite Walking Dead characters. I just want the good ones and the bad ones too, though. So be sure to leave both sets of reviews or, comments with everything. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget that sub button. Subscribe to this channel, join the team, show your support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.